how's it going with practice and stuff before the bowl?
Good. Their attitude's been great. Practice has been good. We're 2 on. We'll be 2 on, 1 off, 2 on, 2 off, 2 on, 1 off, and then go to Houston.
How'd they appreciate those extra days off?
Oh, I'm sure they appreciate them. They hadn't really said much about it, but their enthusiasm and all that's been really good, and they practice really well.
Mike, the portal news has been pretty good. You haven't been hit with the defections you had last year. Is that a good sign?
Oh, I don't know. You know, it's religion, politics, a portal, and roster. It's kind of the way it is. Just take it day by day. Never know what to expect the next day.
Coach, we saw Arlen Bruce move on to the CFL. What was that conversation like between you two when he told you?
When he told me?
Yeah.
Well, I knew that he moved on from here. I found out about the CFL through the same way you guys did. But I was happy for him that he was able to get an opportunity.
Anybody, everybody going to be good to go in Houston? Meaning, we know the guys who entered the portal won't, but everybody else good to go for that game?
Yeah, we've got guys in the portal that are here. We got guys that went in the portal that aren't here. So the ones that are out here practicing, they all seem to be up and running, I guess.
Mike, defensively, do you think with how young that unit was this season, the best thing could just be for everyone to come back and get a year old?
Yeah, we have a lot of young players, specifically in the secondary, that got a lot of work. Experience is valuable. So we're getting a lot of work right now. You know, we're treating this as a spring. We're treating this as a spring practice and putting in a game plan. So a lot of those young guys are getting really quality work right now.
How does that balance out time-wise? Like, how much percentage do you think you're on A&M and how much you're on spring?
More practicing on us in spring practice. We do a little bit on A&M at the end, but not a whole lot now.
How hard is it to gauge what you'll see based on A&M's portal?
We have no idea what they're going to do. I don't have any idea what they're going to do. They play 3 down, they play 4 down, they play man, they play zone. The coordinator's not there on either side of the ball. They're different at the end when Jimbo wasn't there, when Petrino was, and when Petrino wasn't there, so we don't have any idea what they're doing. We're practicing for spring ball and putting a little game plan together and going to go down and play.
Does treating Mike the run up more like a spring practice change the impact of the actual game itself? Does lessen the importance, significance of the actual bowl for the program? Or is it still just as important as ever?
Game, all the games are important. We want to go compete and play and win, but it's it's just different nowadays, right? There's players all over the country that aren't in games, and it's different. And times are just different than they ever have been. And in our situation, we have no idea what they're going to do. So we just need to try to get better at what we do and then go play a game.
One philosophical question. Next year we have the 12-team playoff. Can the Bowls live? I mean, you see what's going on with them now. Can the Bowls survive?
As long as they have sponsorship and revenue. Somebody else is going to make that decision at some point. It's hard for me to say. I think it's like a lot of things now, and with college football, we're not sure what direction they're all going. All we can do is somewhat live day to day.
How much fun have you had seeing Ollie go through those steps? The courses of getting All-American, Doak Walker, how cool is that to see?
It's been really good. He's very deserving and proud for our organization and Ollie, and obviously the offense and the guys that helped him get to that point. Not very many guys Doak Walker winners, one a year. Pretty cool deal, so I was proud of everybody.
Mike, what were your conversations with Gunner like as a coach and as his dad when he decided to hop in the portal?
Portal, religion, and politics and roster. Not touching it with a 10-foot pole.
Speaking of your run game, you've had, I think, 4 or 5 of your offensive linemen now that have announced that they're definitely coming back next year. Does that make it easier being able to build on what you're going to do and continue to do offensively?
Yeah, we'll have a lot of continuity with that group. There's a lot of snaps, a lot of experience, and that can be a huge impact. I haven't really looked at the numbers, but the large majority of our team is coming back. Or as they say, now the portal window's open for a while, and then it opens again in the spring. But I feel like the large majority of this team is going to come back. But I've been wrong before.
Are there any guys that were injured late in the season that could get back for the bowl game?
Strib, maybe?
He's practicing some, but I mean, he's not released. I don't know who else would it be. That's it, really.
Jason Brooks?
Who?
Jason
No,
Brooks?
he won't be back.
Shetron?
No, he won't be back. Elijah's back. He's practicing out here. I think that's it.
Who are some young guys that have taken quite a bit of steps since fall camp that they're getting this time at?
Well, they're all getting a lot of work. I mean, this has been a legitimate spring practice for us. Our scripts are built the same way we do it in the spring, so they're all getting work. There's a lot of reps to go around right now, and they're getting a lot of work.
And you mentioned there's guys that are in the portal that are out there. Is that an awkward conversation to have, or is that just kind of business in 2023?
Portal, religion, politics, and roster. I don't even want to touch it anymore.
Now tell me, I understand the first three. Explain the roster part of that.
Well, so with what the NCAA's done, how do you manage your roster? How do we know who's on our team? Double transfers can be guys that come in, play, leave again. So roster management is going to be a real challenge for Oklahoma State. I don't know, the other coaches might be better at it than me, but so we had a pretty good idea where guys were or what they could do. But now we don't have a pretty good idea with those guys because you could be a double transfer.
So it tied in with the portal. The roster issues in the portal is the same sort of thing.
Yeah, because we have to they still have us on a certain number of scholarships, and we're still responsible for portal transfers through the duration of their career, whether they play for us or not. And we used to be able to get a pretty good idea what direction to go based on one-time transfers, unless you're a graduate. Now we lost that, so it's a guessing game. You could get, it could be difficult. You could lose quite a few guys at one time and can really set back your program. Fortunately for us, that hasn't happened, but it could. It could happen in different places at different times. So it's just very challenging now.
John Wozniak is not a guy that we talk too much about, but he's really been, seems like a pretty valuable piece of what you guys do offensively. What does he bring, and what has made him unique?
Waz.
Coach Waz?
Yeah.
Well, he's done. He does a good job. He coaches our kickoff return, and then does a good job for running backs. And when you're in a situation he's in with a player that's bringing in the notoriety and things like Ollie is, it can be a challenge in a lot of areas. One, recruiting is difficult because you have a Doak Walker returning, so there's not a long list of guys that want to come in behind that guy. But he's done a good job with that. And then secondly, it's always a challenge keeping those guys focused and moving in the right direction. And he's been really good for us.
How's Ollie done out here?
Good. Always Ollie. It's always the same as he always has. Ollie's challenge will be to stay humble and practice hard and all the things that's difficult to do when you're his age and getting all the notoriety that he is. But he's done well. And one thing Ollie has done is competed in games. He's played hard, competes. As long as he'll do that, he'll be fine.
If the bowl significance has changed a little bit recently, Mike, do coaches still want to treat that as a reward for the season? You want the players to enjoy themselves and have a good time on the trip, that kind of thing. Has that changed at all?
Man, that's what we've done. We won't change any of our procedure when we get to Houston. Same thing we've done for 18 years now. It's just different here because of it doesn't make a lot of sense to do something that what would be the unexpected. We don't really know what's involved. So we just need to continue to get better in practice and let these guys get some really quality work and then put a little game plan together and go play.
Players are here, guys. So, more questions.
anybody like Alan Bowman, I know, has the potential to apply for a 7th year. Have been any conversations about that within?
He falls under the religion, politics, the portal, and that would be roster. And the reason why is because, and it's good we're answering these questions because we don't know. So if all of that is true, then waivers that will be filed, at some point we're supposed to get a timely answer. Timely answers haven't been common with NCAA. The new guy in charge, maybe it can happen different and quicker, but so you could have a number of players that are applying for a waiver, and we don't know if they get the waiver or not. So do you hold a spot for them, or do you go find somebody else to replace them? And that's what we're dealing with. That's the area that can be difficult for us as roster management. You know, do you take what you have and then maybe what you have is not going to be there, or do you have to get something else to replace? Those are the things that are a little bit frustrating until this becomes transparent and contractual in the relationships that we have. You know, we're going to go to a subdivision. We're going to go to 30 teams or 40 teams that are controlling the market and television money, and those schools will be the ones that run college athletics based on football, and then there'll be another group that plays, and that's what's going to happen. It's just a matter of time now, because I don't think it's within reach and will be stable financially for schools to maintain the level and the direction we're going right now.